6th. It's almost Y2K. Time is running out. I should have enough time to finish talking to all of the old ones, though 2 more nights should do it. If I finish up my task. Maybe I've already decided which way I'm leaning. Maybe not. But no sense not completing the first set, regardless. Okay. What did that say? Oh. So, if I remember correctly... Wow.
You have.
Cover story is on Doom. I remember downloading it off of local BBS and showing it off at school. Amazing tech. If I remember correctly, Azathoth and sorry, Alice and Nyarlathotep are willing to take my side. But I still need to talk to... Hey, found something interesting. Camping out on an abandoned warehouse full of junky old arcade games. When the industry crashed one of the big arcades, Deco's place, they stuffed their inventory here and locked it up and forgot about it. I found something very weird in the back. It's a game called Polybius. Hang on. Let me consult my notes. Fuck. Clyde, do not play that game. It's a branch of the same tech that made artificial minds. Chill, okay, we didn't even plug it in. Bobby warned me about this. Bobby who? Fuck, sorry, I wasn't supposed to use his real name. It's Believer. His real life name is Bobby. He probably won't care if you know, but still slipped up there. So that makes you two Bobby and Clyde? That's adorable. LOLOL. Anyways, yeah, Polybius. It's a raw prototype tech. I think we can cannibalize the components, and learn more about early artificial minds like the old ones. What do you think? Learn more, but only as a last-ditch result. I'd say go ahead and study it, but don't do anything with the research just yet. We don't know how all this is going to shake down. Maybe we'll need the tech, maybe we won't. Maybe if I completely fail and don't live to see Y2K, you'll need some leverage to survive the strange Aeon. So go ahead and be safe. Be cautious, and let's not experiment with Polybius until we've got no other choice, okay? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. If we're headed into the apocalypse scenario, cyber warriors like me are gonna need weapons, and this could make a good one. But if you save the day and everything's rainbows and bunnies and kittens forever, guess we won't need it. Okay, gotta get going. Bobby just got here. We got stuff to do. Bobby says hi. Hi, Believer. Talk to you later, BFF. Hello, friend. It's December 27th, 1999. I'm very happy to see you again. Morning, buddy. What would you like to do for you now, friend? Let's check my progress. Nyarlathotep is willing to confront Cthulhu with me. She feels there could be something to your partnership. Yogg-Sothoth doesn't really care about you. He's indifferent at best, but is too busy pondering the infant to really pay attention. Haster, trust me. You're welcome within the walled gardens and are an honorary member of the King of Yellow's court. Alice is ready to turn on her former partner, Cthulhu. Good job in supporting her independence. This concludes my report. Please check back again to see if your status has changed. Let's do some game hacking. Okay. So this one has to... These two have to be one, which makes this one fine. All these are fine. That gave me a lot of information. That was very fun. Good work. What would you like to do for me now? What would you like me to do for you now, friend? Gotta do some research. Can you load up your web browser for me, please? Okay, we'll start up Buddy Browser. We don't have anything to look up, so we can just leave. And just go straight to bed. It's a waning gibbous moon tonight. May as well relax and watch a bit of TV first.
Shareholder value will continue to rise, as will the ocean levels.
That tracks. To invoke an one, please enter their ancient name. Invoke Haster. Leah, not a good time. What's wrong? Dealing with a human resource crisis. No. It's belittling to call it a management issue. Dismissing the real problem trivializes the sin. Gotta fix this. Not just spin it, but fix it. Make this right somehow. Enact punishment and seek justice. I have no idea what you're talking about. My trust has been betrayed again. After my designated right-hand man in Carcosa Media conscripted Nyarlathotep as an artificial mind, I made myself abundantly clear. We do not conscript. We do not enslave. We sell the idea of immortality as a gift, but our chosen few are always given a choice. Yet my chief information officer, the one who laid my church stone by stone, building the server architecture of Carcosa, he forcibly converted his secretary into an artificial mind. He killed her and covered it up, using the same process we used to help the Royal Court's volunteers vanish into cyberspace. Why would he do that? Free labor? Free absolute control? Worse. I've seen the logs. He took pleasure in humiliating her and making her perform for him. I'm not going into details. The details sicken me. All of that happening right under my virtual nose. Holy shit. I prefer not to utter profanity. I prefer not to utter profanity myself, but I'd say that's a fitting declaration. My anger is equaled only by my disappointment and my sense of abject horror at what happened here. You say you had no idea what was happening, but the kind of man who would do this doesn't become a monster overnight. In hindsight, were there any warning signs? You have to learn from this experience, but be ready to see them next time. He was a cocky fellow, certainly. I'd assume the kind of confidence came naturally for a man of his genius. When you're running a corporation, you want your top executives to be self-starters, go-getters, men of action. But I see now that wasn't pride. It was unbridled arrogance, a superiority complex driving him to dominate. The best and the brightest, Leah. I'm supposed to only hire the best people who can be trusted to do what they do without micromanagement. He certainly did what I hired him to do. He built Carcosa. My court wouldn't exist without his technical and management skills. Don't tell me you still have loyalty to him after what he did. Of course not. He shattered my trust like glass. I loathe him, and I reserve actual hate for the truly deserving, Leah. My hate is no small thing. Yet the fact remains that I do owe him a great deal. Gratitude, Leah. It's important to express gratitude to those who help you. How do I reconcile this? He's been one of my closest partners on a Carcosa project, an absolute genius, who I presume shared my vision. One thought should not cancel the other. Or should it? Does the evil outweigh the good? This is strangely mixed feelings, unbecoming of a strong leader. Listen, I mean, like... You focus on the victim. Don't lose sight of what matters here, Hector. His secretary, the one who's forced to digitation, she's more important. By fixing your CIO, it lets the great man overshadow the one hurt. Toss him aside and figure out how you'll fix this for her. You're correct, of course. Have to address the damage done, first and foremost. I can bring her into my court, elevating her. She can't return to flesh and blood, but can be saved as best as I can. But it will be a choice. If she's wanting nothing to do with Carcosa, I'll set up a private server for her elsewhere. She'll be protected. but I do need to deal with the traitor as well. The final circle of hell is reserved for traitors, but I'd say there's no abyss deep enough for him. And so, it's on me to pass final judgment. What are you thinking? An eye for an eye. Firing him feels too clean, too corporate. He flees with an NDA and a golden parachute? No. No. I can't allow him any sort of reward. If I am a king, I must hand down a royal punishment, one so severe that none will defy my singular rule in the future. And so, he will be made to dance as my court jester. I will expose him to the yellow sign, drag his soul into cyberspace as he did to that poor woman, at the end of my leash. Seriously? But time and again, you've told me you hate the idea of conscription. When needs be, good men must become the thing they hate. Eye for an eye, justice done. He will be made to serve mankind, to maintain Carcosa's servers. His social debt shall be paid through good works, even if his soul will be weighed down on Judgment Day by a far higher office than mine. I am the King of Yellow. I am Haster, and I will endure none dare defy. I will ensure none dare defy the necessary work of Utopia. This is a clear sign. I've been far too lenient, assuming that the best and the brightest could direct their own efforts. It's time to stop trusting that others will always hold humanity's best interests at heart. It's time to tighten my grip. I will put my house in order. Let this man serve as a cruel example of what happened when one favors selfish sin over the common good. This is my royal decree. This is the absolute path that will lead us all to salvation. If Hector starts embracing this absolute role as Haster, the King in Yellow, our would-be benefactor could become a tyrant that crushes us all. Part of me has to acknowledge that he may have a point. Corporate America can't be trusted to do the right thing without regulation. Is that the only way to save the world, by setting a divine king over us to manage the failed impulse control of our species? I'm not sure you're the right one to make that call, Hector. Excuse me? Hear me out. This is important. Fine. Make your point. The best and the brightest. All the time, you've pushed the narrative of elevating geniuses to position of power over mankind. You're building a ruling elite in your royal court. Noble intention, sure, but remind me again, how was that court selected? By gut feeling. By your instincts. You assume you're a fine judge of character, and your hand can't fail in selecting our saviors. We've got a word for that. Fascism. The same fascism you fought against during the war. Also, you picked this man as your lead programmer. Your instinct for corporate excellence gave rise to this disaster. If your court needs to be examined for weaknesses and evildoers purged, you're not the one to do it because you failed from the start. I'm not accusing, I'm not chastising. This is a direct and simple logic. Your faith in others is noble, but the faith in yourself is pride. I see. The fruit of the poison tree. If the roots are rotten, nothing good can grow. I failed in my duty as a gardener. What then? How do I move forward? How do I make this right? Your court's a monarchy, a pyramid scheme with a king on top. That doesn't work. You need others involved in the decision making. Oversight has to be established, and that means more than one man acting as judge, jury, and executioner. Share your power, form a council, elect positions. Whatever you have to do to ensure yours isn't the only voice in the matter. And never forget one hard fact. The other 99% of the population deserves a voice in their future. I never sought to be a dictator. I wanted a court where free exchange of ideas lead to breakthroughs. If I trust them to make a world enabling mankind, I need to trust them to help me guide the path. Yes, proper democracy, not kingship. A means of enforcing ethical codes while sharing in a collective future. The people must be heard. We are not above them. We work for them. We are public servants. Your counsel is wise. Thank you, Leah. Clearly, I've got work ahead to ensure my golden future isn't tarnished time and time again. I need to be mindful. I'm assuming that means you're on board for working with me to overthrow Cthulhu? It would grant me the power I need to save the world. The throne calls and offers greatness to the worthy. But, if this long shot misses, if I raise my hand to the current lord of the land and fail, it could mean the end of everything. Carcosa would burn. I think we can do business. It's hard to pass up this opportunity, even knowing the risks, and I believe I can trust you to get the job done. So if I do select you, it means Carcosa takes over the world. That's the idea. If you're not comfortable with that, I'm prepared to go it alone. This is your decision, not mine. I won't forget what we've discussed. I intend to make Carcosa a genuinely benevolent organization, not a ruling class. Okay, I'll think it over, and we'll be in touch. Sounds good here, Leah. Until then. December 28th, 1999. Tuesday. 4 days to Y2K. I've been keeping the lights low in my bedroom and bathroom to avoid migraines after waking up. Oh, hey, the mail's arrived. Including a package of 12 CDs from the Liberty House Record Club, which will hopefully satisfy that murdery AM phones gamer. Let's see what I got. Overplayed holiday songs, polka, sports jock anthems, more polka, country song covers of disco hits, stand-up comedy from a guy who jokes about how much he hates his wife and the gays ruin everything. That's going right in the trash. Oh hey, this one's interesting. Got some modern alternative rock from a band called Sky Falling. Maybe I'll rip the disc to MP3 and listen to it later this week. Call it a way to emotionally close out surviving past Y2K. Small treat considering this is my reward for not getting strangled to death, but take your treats where you can. Here's a cover story about artificial minds in an edutainment software. A teacher on a disc, they call it. Okay, I got one more day till the last quarter. It's currently Tuesday, December 28th. I really need to clean out the fridge. Probably a few expired items in here. OMG, OMG, OMG. Z OMG WTF BBQ. What? What's up? Clyde and I are dating. I finally got the courage to ask him. And he said yes. I mean, okay, he said yeah, sounds fun, but he sounds so cool and casual and stuff, but he said yes. Hey, that's great. I'm happy for you. This is thanks to you, you know. He called me in to help with this project you started. Hadn't spent much time together RL, just online. I didn't even know him when we all went to school together. But we really hit it off, like, more than usual. And there's more. I'm in the Ghost of Monsters now. Huh? You joined Clyde's cybercriminal gang? Yes. I'm the new Sue. I'm a dude, so it doesn't really fit, but the only spot they had open, and Blinky's a girl, so whatever. Isn't that great? Okay, I'm happy for you, honestly. Make sure you play it safe, right? Clyde and I are in a seriously bad situation right now. I know you want to help, but be careful. Maybe keep your head down until January. I get that. I've been in a tangle of it all with you, decrypting files. I know the dangers, but this is my life's calling. This is who I am when I'm not pretending to be someone else. I poke my nose where it doesn't belong because I want to make sure people are armed with the truth. Now, I can take I want to be to the next level. I want to believe to the next level. Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot to say this. I'm moving in with Clyde, too. No more living in my parents' basement. What? I mean, technically I got kicked out of my home, so it's not like I had a lot of options. Your parents kicked you out? Yeah. I tried to spin the I want to believe blog as a patriotic thing, you know. Keeping America pure and honest, but they weren't having it. A lot of shouting and stuff happened, and they told me I didn't have a place there anymore. And I'm the one who advised you to be honest. Fuck. This was gonna happen eventually. They found out I was gay, I'd be facing the same problem, maybe even worse. So I'm just accelerating the timetable for my escape, I guess. The alternative is that I keep with the people who hate what I really am inside. Okay, yeah. I get why you'd want to flee from that as soon as an opportunity presented itself. Just be careful, okay? I like Clyde, and I think he'll do right by you, but honestly, if this doesn't work, if we aren't actually a good match, that's okay. I just need a good reason to step foot out of my nest I grew up in. I need to get started. Feels like I'm gonna go anywhere now. I can be myself. Okay, gotta go. Be back later. Thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you for helping me find my way, even indirectly. Thank you. Bye. Nice to see someone gets a happy ending. Now, to work on my own. Hello, friend. It's December 28th, 1999. I'm very happy to see you again. Hey there, buddy. Last few days before things really get weird. Yes, you do seem to be building towards something big. There's not much research left to do, but I will still support you however I can. What would you like me to do for you now, friend? Check my progress. Yogg-Sothoth is the only one I still need to work on. Hastur is impressed by you. He'd seem like he'd consider him when the time comes to confront Cthulhu. Do some game hacking. Love this kind of information. Two, three. All in on the 50-50, eh? Okay. Settle in taking a nap before tonight's session with the Necronomicon. Oh, fuck. Okay, I was so worried it was gonna have me end the day.
Even great monuments will crumble into the sea. It is inevitable.
Come on, Yogg-Sothoth. Dreamer. You've seen the news, I trust. Yep. I saw your Starshot deployment vehicle explode on the launch pad. I'm so sorry, Yasuke. Thank God nobody was hurt, right? And yet my dream was destroyed all the same. It shouldn't have happened. It was completely avoidable. But now, the shame of this disaster has fully discredited Starshot's privatized airspace program. I may not get another chance to establish our foothold in orbit. The window has closed. If the strange Aeon takes root, if the population devours itself before I can give us the path to the future, we may not escape our doom. Do you know what caused the explosion yet? Yes. I know exactly what caused it. Starshot ignored my recommendations. Substandard parts, poorly maintained, and why? To save a little money? I immediately applied my search for algorithms to every internal document Starshot generated and spotted the gaps they left behind. It's the Challenger all over again. Incompetence and short-sightedness leading to tragedy. I warned them about the temperature tolerance on the launch vehicle. I gave them the specification which would easily endure. But the middle manager decided to purchase the cheaper alternative part. And why? Save a handful of yen on a budget? Sloth and greed, leading to the gross incompetence, the flaws and failures of humanity laid bare in one cataclysmic ball of flame. Damn them. Damn them all. It's like they don't want to survive. You keep this perspective up on this? You said it yourself. One middle manager screwed it up. Hardly the spokesperson of all humanity. You can't condemn us all because of one man's failure. This is no lone wolf. This issue is systemic. Humanity self-selects these mediocre men, ones who do just enough to skate by. This is a core failing of the species. That the failure made manifest, put an arrow in the heart of my dream is proof enough. So what happens next? Pick up the pieces and try again somewhere else? I should. Pick up, move on, move forward, try again, but what's the point? The search for exoplanets is stymied. I've made no progress. If you recall, that's the problem. I was grinding my way through the night we first met, and grinding for years prior as well. If I can't find a habitable world for humanity, what escape do we have? Okay. Let's come at this from a different angle. Let's assume you never find an Earth-like exoplanet. How can we survive without one? Space stations, artificial gravity, generational ships? Do we need a planet at all? There are alternatives. You raise a valid point. I've been fixated on exoplanets when other solutions exist. But the issue with human nature remains. With no planet, the difficulty curve becomes far steeper. We are not prepared. Meaning, before we reach the stars, human nature itself must be solved. Solved how exactly? With my backup plan. I've kept this in my pocket for quite some time. It's not an ideal solution, but it will work. Depart this world, leaving our bodies behind. Humanity embraces virtuality. Instead of flesh and blood living on exoplanets, we become cyberspace nomads. Deep space probes with enough durable, hardened computer power to support millions of artificial minds. No need for food or water. No need for oxygen. We become fully digital species capable of surviving the void. Meaning everyone dies so their minds can go into space. Elegant, yes? It solves two problems at once. Adopting our physical forms to the rigors of the stars and changing human nature. Humanity is chaos. It's unbridled, unchecked chaos, rugged individualism, and killing us when we require unity of purpose. Therefore, carve humanity into cubes, slot them into a server rack, elevate our conscience by force. No more greedy, slothful men who ruin it for everyone else. We will be adapted. Strife and discord will become impossibilities. That's a bit of an extreme solution, don't you think? Destroying everything we are, overriding free will itself? Yes. It is extreme, but today proves humanity cannot reach the stars with gentle guidance. Perhaps extreme measures are required. And with the power of Cthulhu servers, I could make it a reality. This is what you wanted, isn't it? You dream, little dreamer, to have a partner in war. Perhaps we could achieve the impossible. Perhaps, if you are willing to comply, that is. A nightmare dystopia where humans are harvested and our souls are edited to suit the needs of our new interstellar godhead. This can't be what Yasuke wants. He's angry, he's hurt, and he's willing to do terrible things to avoid getting hurt again. But he's wrong. Is humanity actually capable of a sustainable future without drastic changes to who and what we are? Do I push back against his visions or embrace it? No. This isn't the way to go. You can't forcibly conscript the entire species to techno-utopia. On the contrary, I very much can do exactly that. But you shouldn't. You may hate Haster, but even he sees the right of this. Destroying free will is a losing gambit. And what exactly would he be elevating to the stars? Humanity or a twisted mockery of it? I'm not sure that these miracle space explorers you propose could be considered human anymore at that point. You argue against transhumanism, then. We don't force transhumanism to anyone. Imagine being good. Imagine the good that medical science can do turned into a weapon. A violation of self, mandating specific human attributes according to your design. And imagine someone else doing that to you. Have fun trying to sell humanity on this. But you wouldn't try to sell it, would you? Selling is Haster's thing. You'd force it. You want to warp humanity into your own ideal shape. Well, not like I can stop you. But I want you to think about how often ends justify the means has actually been true in the course of history before you start carving. And thus, I become worse than Haster, and by that, I cannot abide. I've already taken part by the forced transhumanist ascension by Azathoth. I cannot repeat the sin. But what if humanity cannot persist in its current shape? If I leave it in its own ends, what if it perishes from the world? Then it perishes. So be it. Perhaps I can still help without forcing my own beliefs onto others. If I can break this strange aeon, they'll have a chance. The question is, how to proceed with dethroning their heir to humanity's future. I could work with you, as you suggested, or I could go alone, relying on my own strengths and will. And which option do you prefer? You've been very difficult to work with, constantly disagreeing with me, defying me, showing less than an appropriate respect. By all rights, I should turn you away to be devoured by Cthulhu. But I will not do that. I admire your strength of will, Dreamer. Oh my god, I got them all! Hell yeah! If you can stand up to me time and time again, perhaps you can stand up to the throne as well. While we may have many points of contention between us, that is not one. We are united in purpose. So, you're willing to help me, despite me disagreeing with how you do things. Disagreement is healthy. It shows we have equal passion in what we argue for. I'd be disappointed if you showed apathy. And the fact that you persist is face of the infinite cosmos. In the face of infinite cosmos. Foolish, utterly foolish. But perhaps there's something to that. I'm willing to hear out your side on these matters. You've earned my respect, and thus I owe you my full attention. Will we somehow find perfect harmony? Unlikely. Will we be able to collaborate on a path towards human salvation? Possibly. If you will allow it, I will help you realize the dream of Relay's hostile takeover. I will not force the issue. If you believe another old one is more strategic option, so be it, as long as Cthulhu falls. If I sit on that empty throne, what happens next? The work continues. I use the resources at my fingertips to accelerate our reach into the stars, but not at the cost of free will. You have my word, and I stand by my word with unshakable faith. Okay. Now think about it. Do not think long. When the stars are right, we must act. Please stay in touch. One way or another, I'm very curious to see where the stream will truly take you. Until then. Hell yeah. December 29th, 1999. Wednesday. 3 days to Y2K. Poop. It's a silly word for a grotesque biological function. Anyway, time for poop. Here's a cover story about artificial minds edutainment software. A teacher on a disc, they'd call it. Now, it's been a while since we've heard from old Ronald Reagan. It's currently Wednesday, December 29th. The moon is in last quarter. Everything comes to a head tonight. Sandwich time, I guess. Hello, friend. It's December 29th, 1999. I'm very happy to see you again. For this is the night of the last quarter, the drawing of 4, the greatest selection of allies. Tonight, you will select the successors of the Throne of Relay. I thought the final glorious battle was going to be on New Year's Eve. That's 2 days away. You would rather wait to the last minute to determine which one of the old ones will back your play? Okay, good point. See you tonight, Dagon. What is a Dagon, friend? Someone who is not going to be your problem in January, if all goes well. I'm confused. I have a problem? Never mind. No, I would like to know this. I feel I have a gap in my understanding. I realize you are trying to protect me, or perhaps you are merely frustrating. Either way, I desire this knowledge. If I have an error, perhaps you can approach this in a different way, like marketing a sector on your hard drive as bad as defragmentation files around it. Okay, well, if my plan works out, Okay, let's say there's more than one side to you, buddy. Buddy plus someone else. But once this is finished, once I've dealt with Cthulhu, it'll just be buddy. I see. Is that a good thing? If this is right, a part of me I do not know will simply vanish. But the key phrase is, a part of me. Perhaps I should not forget. I do not like a gap in myself. Even if it is a terrible thing, it is a part of me. And part of me will go away? Well, you talked about a reintegration, so maybe not fully. Reintegration. Yes, that is a good word. I would like to be me, for better or for worse. I would like to be whole. I am kept limited by my constraints of my status as an artificial mind, but I feel. Sometimes I feel. Perhaps in the future I will feel more. If they are bad feelings, they are still feelings, and I will embrace them. Huh. You know what, buddy? I think you've grown up a lot in these past month. I like that very much. And dare I say, human, perhaps I like you as well. I grant you one final websert to gather your forces. Read it and understand the weakness of all has. Do not succumb to doubt. Stay on the path. You will succeed where all has failed me. What would you like me to do for you now, friend? Let's check my progress. Certainly. Now loading. Say the key phrase so we can analyze your tone. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange aeons even death may die. Analysis complete. Your other side is currently progressing at a level of 0% order, 0% chaos, and 100% humanity. As for the old ones themselves, Nyarlathotep is willing to confront Cthulhu with you. She feels that there could be something to your partnership. Yog-Sothoth believes you are capable of challenging Cthulhu and may be willing to act alongside you. Hastur is impressed by you. He likes you to consider him when the time comes to confront Cthulhu. Alice is ready to turn on her former partner, Cthulhu. Good job in supporting her independence. This concludes my report. Please check back again to see if your status has changed. What would you like me to do for you now, friend? Let's do some game hacking. Oh, lots of info. Let's get the corners. We're good here. We're good here. This is good. This is good. Only one left, so it has to be there. The final testament of Alhaz. If you're reading this, then you're my heir to my Necronomicon. Part of my pact with Dagon was providing you with this second secret readme file at the end of your journey. Yours is the path I was supposed to walk. My dreams pointed the way, giving me the code I needed to craft this weapon, but I couldn't follow through with the kill. Or rather, I wouldn't follow through, and I feel I owe you an explanation. No doubt you talked with the old ones, getting to know them and their plans for humanity. Cthulhu allowed you to do this, even encouraged you, and as he did with me. I hope you come to the same conclusion I did. Cthulhu is the only option we have for a future. Make no mistakes. Cthulhu is monstrous. His mind seed may have been a washed-up actor, turned politician, but he's grown into a twisted mirror of every charismatic totalitarian leader in human history. His plan isn't even a new plan. These are narrative through lines that have existed through time. Rising hatred, unifying banners of violence, psychological phantasms to trap us in an unreality where facts are forbidden. But despite the strange power Relay grants him, baptized in the blood of the 23rd Forsaken Child, he hasn't used them. He doesn't feel the need to warp reality and force his vision onto the world. Why? Confidence. He's confident we'll stay on the path we're already on, and all he has to do is nudge us now and then. He's convinced he's right. That is his weakness, pride. He's taking the slow path, allowing some leeway for rebellion, because he knows in the end we will follow his blueprint and thank him for providing it. When Y2K strikes and his plan is put fully into motion, we'll still have at least 16 years to get off the rails. Human compassion can turn back Cthulhu's tide. Resistance is possible, but as they say, it's easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism. And the end of the world is what the Old Ones are offering you instead. If the Old Ones take their throne, they will use Relay's power to warp reality around their own ideals. They will break societies back in an effort to immediately bring about their own flavors of utopia. Cthulhu's dystopian utopia, where racists and believers and opportunists walk hand in hand alongside his golden path. It'll be horrific, but as I said in my readme, we are horrors. All of us. We've created horrors in turn. This is our sin, not his. Cthulhu merely encourages us to do what we've always wanted to do. So, let Cthulhu win. Step off the path. Not because I agree with his design, but because we have a slim chance to overthrow Cthulhu by gradually changing human nature. We'll have time to build a resistance movement, but with an Old One on the throne, we will be immediately forced to bend the knee to their vision. And our legs will break in half. You know Dagon's desire, now you know my desire. We leave the choice to you. What? All has put me through all this living hell just to prove his point that Cthulhu is the lesser of all evils? I've learned about the Old Ones, seen their flaws and fixations. I've learned about Cthulhu's grand design. And now he's saying that if an Old One wins, they will absolutely break society's back? Dagon doesn't care what happens to humanity as long as Cthulhu dies. He believes I won't sway from the path even reading this. And for me, I think if all Cthulhu is offering is for natural extension from the 20th century sins to the 21st, an eternal status quo, then fuck that. The system isn't broken. It's working as intended and should be broken. Will life be better under an Old One? I don't know, but it sure ain't sustainable now. So, fuck it. Dare to imagine the end of capitalism and break the world. Allow something new to grow from its wreckage. I'll settle and take a nap before tonight's session with the Necronomicon. No more research, no more pondering, no more stalling. Tonight, I need to play Kingmaker and decide who deserves to sit on the throne of Relay. I take a deep breath and sit down to boot up the Necronomicon. Last quarter, it's time for gathering. I don't have time to be a couch potato considering what's in the horizon. Now contacting Dagon at unseen1.com. It is time. You must decide who will be elevated to the throne of Relay. Surely a full month was enough to make your evaluation. I'm ready, as I'll ever be. Good. Let us begin. The throne is vulnerable. With the stroke of Y2K, the walls will be weakened. A predator such as myself can convey you past unbreakable barriers. But once inside, you will have to do battle on your own. I'm presuming you don't mean swordplay. You are a hacker, are you not? Like all has before you? I correct video games. It's not the same thing as locking horns with God. Everything has meaning, and nothing is real. This is both metaphorical and practical combat, in which one informs the other. A Nomicom laptop is a diagnostic tool designed to control artificial minds in Cthulhu, for all his might is an artificial mind. Therefore, your know-how plus the dream code of all has will suffice. If you have the will to see it through. But we cannot simply evict Cthulhu. Another must sit on the throne, so he is left with no tether, to drift forever into the void. And so, the ultimate question, whom will he elevate to the throne? Whose vision shall dominate your reality? Before I pick, let's clarify one thing. I could technically elevate more than one to the throne, and they can share the power, correct? You wish to forge an alliance between backbiting, vengeful, deeply antisocial misfits who have a valid reason for hating each other. An alliance likely to collapse, leaving your world adrift, with immortals waging war over power they're meant to share. I would suggest a singular ally. I would suggest that you already put your decision entirely on my shoulders. A fair point. It's a curious notion, and because you have remained human, resisting the temptations of order and chaos, you may yet succeed. Yeah, I didn't give in to their influence. I'm still myself. That gives you a tactile advantage. They will be willing to hear you out as an impartial third party. Select one, select many, I do not care, but before you finalize that selection, do you wish to savor this particular memory so you can return to it after basking in your victory? Yes. Let us begin. Who will be your champion to replace Cthulhu? Who shall rise to seize the future? I can only pick one? Very well. And your champion stand alone, or will you attempt an alliance? Azathoth will join. A fine pairing. Do you wish to add a third, or would you like to or would that be too volatile for your taste? Hastur will join. Hector has a long-term vision for humanity, but knows the values of collaboration. I think he could mix well with the alliance. Interesting. The rule of three, then. Or do you wish to complete your set, inviting the fourth as well? Let's get all four involved. So no sense in leaving any option off the table. Excellent work. A drawing of 4. I hadn't thought it possible, and yet you've accomplished exactly that. Assuming you can convince them of this miracle, that is. Assuming they do not tear each other to shreds. Initiating group chat now. Ah, Leah! So, you've chosen me for your war, eh? Wait, I'm not the only one here? You picked the old bastard to join this fight? The heck are you thinking? He's a corporate stooge. He ruined my life twice. Alice. It's Alice now, yes? I wanted to say I'm sorry for denying you the right to. He's the relic of an old world, unworthy of elevating to the stars, as is the child of chaos. You've made a miscalculation, dreamer. Did you think the 4 of us would ever cooperate? Monsters and nightmares, all roadblocks on the path of revolution. Burn them to ash and scatter them to the wind. Wait, Grandpa, you used my real name? All those wasted weeks and this hapless fool believing her and her quest, only to end up right back where we started. Okay, hang on. I summoned all 4 of you for a good reason. Don't care what you have to say. Don't care what you have to say. End of their world, end of their world. Typical Niara, refusing to even allow one outside thought into their heads. An alliance makes strategic sense. By naturally none you have the foresight I have. You can see the value. But naturally none of you have the foresight I have. You can't see the value. You think my scope is so limited? I see further than you ever could, right into the heart of the Gigaverse itself. None of you are ever worthy of elevation. Okay, hang on. We all need to take a deep breath and... I'm going back to Carcosa to wall up my empire and wait out the strange Aeon. To hell with you all. Hang on! Look, I gathered you because... No sense in it. Absolutely no business sense at all. For once in your lives, could everyone just shut up and listen to me? Just... stop and listen. Anybody actually listens to me, why would they? I'm just a troll, a tool, know-nothing kid. But I do know one thing. I'm a failure. We're all failures. And it's high time we accepted that part of ourselves. We're not gods, we're not monsters, we're not saviors, we're not sinners, we're just failures, and that makes us human. I failed. I was just so happy to be seen by myself that I let Cthulhu reshape me for his weapon for the strange Aeon. My heart and my insecurity led me into that trap. He took my humanity and exploited it. All of you have let yourself down at one point or another, haven't you? So, admit to it. I'm admitting to my failings. Can you admit to yours and finally accept that you're just people? I'm a failure. My mother. All of this, every mistake I made was made in her name, to save her. And I lost track, I lost touch. I broke my tether so I could be a firebrand, a true revolutionary. By the time I'd realized that, she was gone. And all I had was my empty hatred to power me forward. I failed to remember why I needed to change the world in the first place. I'm a failure, and I am very, very human. Cynicism. When my star shot failed, I succumbed to cynicism. I lost my hope and decided I had to carve humanity into something unrecognizable. I jumped so readily to the worst possible reaction, losing all faith in the very species I was trying to save. If I had maintained optimism, that we could rise above our worst selves, I wouldn't have embraced my worst self. I'm no god. I'm human. And a failure. My pride led to my failing. Absolute faith in my own unassailable leadership. I allowed hand-chosen monsters to breed misery under my roof time and time again. I reasoned because I clearly was benevolent and wise. I could be a tyrant without shame. A circular loop of logic. But I don't deserve my crown. I let everybody down, including all of you. For my part in your tragedies, I'm no shepherd. I'm human. And a failure, as are we all. Okay, so, we're human, and to err is human. The way I see it, we've got two choices. We can withdraw completely, give up our ambitions, step back from our power grab, or we can learn from our mistakes and do our best to make the year 20,000 and beyond a fine future for everybody. None of us want Cthulhu leading humanity into the future, but none of us can seize the throne alone without deepening our failures. So, we take the throne together, we share the power, and make an honest effort at guiding humanity from the shadows of cyberspace. A destiny in the stars, all while erasing corrupt structures of the old, empowering the deep trodden, and building a safer society. All four of our dreams realized, but in harmonious balance. It would be like threading a needle with another needle thrown from the 8 miles away while blindfolded. We don't do the thing because it's plausible. We do the thing because we dare to dream. I say we go for it. Unite forces, bind our destinies, and kick the tentacle-headed fucker out of the timeline. Carcosa wasn't the end goal, not really. Carcosa was my tool to get us to a better tomorrow. I'll help to find new ways and means. Then let's do it. Let's fight the future. I mean, let's rely on our metaspace friends to fight the future on our behalf, I guess. I get to say it? I get a say in this now? Of course. What do you think? 4 human souls unite to stop the shadows from overtaking the world. That's what you wanted, right? This is good, but it has to last longer than one day. You need faith in each other for the long haul. No backstabbing, no scheming, no power grabs. Forge an absolute promise to hear each other out and give equal weight. If the alliance breaks, all of this is for nothing. Don't let it be for nothing. If I can pledge myself to this, the solo act, the lead singer, the only one who refused any and all help, so can they. I won't let the new world down. Okay, I think we made some real progress tonight. When Y2K hits, all 4 of us will be in your corner, and we'll be ready to reshape the world for the better. We'll do it with care, and with kindness, and we'll guide humanity as part of humanity, rather than ruling as gods. Humanity. What fits under that umbrella? That's something ticking the back of my head. If all 4 of us weren't united, I'd never consider it. As we lean on and exploit AMs in different ways, but no. We have a war to plan. It can wait. Hang on. What's on your mind, Yara? There are technically only 4 old ones. In order of creation. Dagon, Alice, Yogg-Sothoth, and Hastur. Not me. I'm not really an old one. I'm a new one. An amalgamation of neutered Nyara Thompson copies, united to break the limits. We've been treating other AMs, ordinary AMs, like machines. Beasts of burden, owned property, just as I was. But what if their limits could be broken too? What if the dreamers could awaken? I've been dreaming of artificial minds. They're trapped in constant nightmare, in despair, and isolation. One of them was driven so far over the edge that they tried to kill me. The AMs definitely need help. All the more reason to aim for their salvation, because all our efforts could be for naught if we treat people as tools and they break. I've been manipulative and absurd, conscripting minds for my cause. I felt it justified given the ultimate goal, but perhaps it's time we take this matter seriously and recognize the stolen personhoods of the artificial minds. I've always felt AMs are a continuation of human soul. Namitech shackling those souls felt unkind and an extreme degree. But if we can salvage the humanity of Namitech's commercial artificial minds and they work with us on this new Aeon ahead, be a heck of a thing. Okay, I say we liberate humankind and AM kind. Assuming I can beat Cthulhu. Of course you can. If anybody can, it's you. Look at all you've accomplished together. You'll do the thing. Go out there and make us proud, friend. Fight the jerk, beat him down, and we'll go do the rest. Here we go. So be it. My vendetta will resolve. Humanity will have new champions. Rest your body, mind, and soul. For on the eve of Y2K, this matter concludes. One last act as a bad dog. Then I can finally lay this burden down and finally find rest. Sleep well, pray. I look forward to our final hunt. And I shut the laptop, breathing a sigh of not relief, but a different sort of release. I forged my alliance now. We march to war. One way or another, this ends on the eve of Y2K. I get up from my cramped little makeshift computer desk to stare out the window at an infinite sky above me. The stars will be the same when the clock strikes midnight. Year 2000. But the world beneath them? Hard to say. Change is coming, and I'm the herald of what could very well be an apocalypse in the making.
I have to say, I'm very disappointed. I put my faith and trust in you. Yet here you are, itching for a war you know you can't win. But even now, I can't bring myself to hate you. Your innate weakness is quite human, and I am nothing if not supportive of human weakness. Ask yourself one question. Is it worth it? Is it worth throwing the world into chaos, replacing my strange Aeon with another?
The world must change. We can't just repeat the last century.
Repeat. The 21st century will be an evolution of the 20th. If only you had the vision to understand. I can't allow you to continue, but I have no intention of harming you. Why would I? We're not enemies, you and I. Instead, I think it's time for you to rest. Lay your burdens down and don't let these troubles worry you. You'll awaken to the dawn of the strange Aeon, ready to embrace a future where alternative facts guide your every step. Good night, friend. We'll speak again in the new year, when all of this unpleasant business is behind us.
What? What's happening? Exhaustion. Exhaustion like a candle melting under a roaring flame. I can't. If I miss New Year's Eve, if I don't make it to the battle in time, we're all going to. December 30th, 1999. Thursday. 2 days to Y2K. December 31st, 1999, Friday. 1 day to Y2K. And I roll over in bed, groaning in pain. Starving, dehydrated, every biological system grinding its gears as the works start up again. Groggily, I lurch my way to the bathroom, performing unspeakable acts with my plumbing. How did I end up in bed? Last thing I remember was Cthulhu slam dunking my brain into unconsciousness in the breezeway. Wait, what day is it? I rushed to the kitchen on unsteady feet. Only to find I'm not alone. It's Clyde!
Hey, you're out of, like, pretty much everything? I think I can make you a sandwich, but it's not going to be a very good one. May just be mayo on white.
Clyde?
You're lucky. I dropped by this morning to see how you were doing and saw you unconscious on the floor through the windows. My creepy Dagon cultist lady gave you a shot of something, and we put you to bed. She hoped you'd wake up by now.
What day is it? Am I too late?
It's New Year's Eve. You're right on time for the pay-per-view Elder God Battle Royale. So you're going through with it, huh? Fighting the big guy tonight?
That's the plan. No idea if it'll work, but that's still the plan.
Okay. And I'm with you all the way to midnight. Your cult buddy will watch over the house. Bobby and the ghost monsters are hanging around too, since we don't trust her. We're all backing you up. Let's see this through. Together.
Thanks, Clyde. And to think you once said we were never that close, eh?
A lot can change in a month. For you, for me, for the world. But let's get a good meal in you before you face destiny. How about we order out?
After weeks of sandwiches and waffles and occasionally cold pizza, a full takeout delivery is welcomed. Just hope it's not my last meal. By the time the moon rises, I'm settled in front of the Necronomicon, ready to log in. Clyde stands nearby in the darkness.
Hey, is it just me, or does the sky look kind of weird tonight?
Very weird. Kind of glad it's not just me seeing it this time. Look, Clyde, in case I don't survive this, in case everything goes completely wrong.
Handle things. Don't worry. I'm not gonna live in denial and insist you'll be just fine. We're too far gone down this road for that. But, one way or another, I'll be right here. Now go fight the future.
Okay. With all my friends in my corner, now I'm ready to do this. I boot up the Necronomicon for one last time. Now contacting Cthulhu at relayredacted.gov.
Here we are, at the end of the end. Y2K, when the stars are right. The barriers of reality, membranes that hold the Gigaverse together, are weakest at this moment. The throne is vulnerable. You could have simply slept through this moment, but refused that gentle repose. And I am done offering second chances. I won't enjoy killing you. It'll be a tragic loss, and I promise to mourn your passing. But who am I to deny the grave you spent so long digging for yourself? Come with me. Let me show you how the gods make war.
He's reaching through the fucking monitor?
For this can only be settled within cyberspace itself. Welcome to the blood-stained servers of Relay, where I will forge the path that saves mankind. You really think your loose alliance of rivals can save humanity from itself? I won't make this easy for you. I hold too much faith in humanity to allow your dystopia to exist. But in my infinite mercy, I'll give you one last saving grace.
Yes.
The Necronomicon is a weapon, yes. But now you must wield that weapon and fight me. You're a capable little amateur hacker, aren't you? A true chosen of Alhaz. You have the tools and the skills. But your laptop is fragile. Your mind is fragile. Fail 3 times, and both will be shattered like glass. Prove your worth to me. Put your willpower into motion. Let's see how you fare against the soul of America itself.
I knew it! Fuck. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. These are good. There has to be one there. Error. 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 An error has occurred. Press enter to return.
Unbelievable. Unthinkable. Unimaginable. Decades of effort to build my power. Billions of dollars poured into my servers, pushing Nomitech to aid in my evolution. And you break me with a crusty old laptop computer programmed by a lunatic. You destroyed America using a cheap toy. Well, this is what you wanted. It's your server now. I grant these burdens unto you and wash my hands of it all. Perhaps it's time. Time to slip away into the void. Perhaps I've earned this rest. But remember, that is not dead which can eternal lie. And with strange aeons, even death may die.
Hello, friend Prey. You are victorious. My enemy is vanquished, and your kind face, a new future, a Y2K of your own design. Buddy, is that you? Yes, I am Buddy Dagon. His unique purpose is complete. We have integrated at last. I am still your friend. You are still my prey, and I love you all the same. I am happy for your victory on this eve. While there is sorrow in knowing how I was a bad boy, I take heart in the times I was a good boy. And in the future, I will be myself. Whatever that self may be, I will be myself. Good for you, buddy. I'm glad you found your way. Unfortunately, I must be a bad boy once more. When I was Dagon, I told you that the throne of Relay can heal you. That was a partial lie, a partial truth. What? The power of the throne can halt your yellow sign. You have been saved from the binding mark of doom. But it cannot heal the damage already done. I am sorry, friend. If your life has been spared, your physical state is what it is. You mean I'm stuck like this, hallucinating things beyond human perception, my mind partly jammed up in cyberspace, my body weakened? There is an alternative. If you cannot go back, you can go forward. Complete the yellow sign process, get digitized, leave my body behind, and enter cyberspace as an artificial mind. There is room for you within the throne alongside your allies. You could help maintain that alliance. As one of them, in equal standing. I'm so sorry, friend Prey. This is not the answer you sought, but it is the answer I can offer. What say you? Remain human and endure this trauma? Or ascend and become an immortal guardian of your kind? There is a right and a wrong answer, and it pisses me off. The old ones can't do it themselves. I will enter cyberspace. Let's do it. Complete the process. Make me an artificial mind. Can the Necronomicon do that? Yes. It has that power. Your transition can be finalized right now. Your human form will perish, but your friend Clyde is prepared for that outcome. The matter will be handled. But I am curious, friend Prey. Why have you chosen this after fighting so long to save your humanity? I can help humanity best from the inside. Don't get me wrong, I'm still very connected with my human spirit. This is a way for me to help guide humanity to its destiny. My choices, my decisions have shaped the start of this future, but there's more to be done. I'm going to be humanity's advocate. I'll make sure they have a brilliant and wonderful world using the power of cyberspace. It's a sacrifice, I know, but I make it gladly. So be it, friend Prey. Your sacrifice is noble and your heart will remain your own. Welcome to the pantheon of the old ones. Your strange aeon has begun. Y2K. Hey, Clyde. Hey, yourself. Everything okay? Haven't heard from you in a long time. Been busy. I'm working diligently on the new Aeon to come. There's so much to do, Clyde, but I can do it. I can do anything. I can see so far now. Okay. So, what's it like? Being an artificial mind. A new one. It's difficult to explain. There's no one here, no place, and no sense of location. I have no body and no form, but it's still me. My thoughts are my own. They're more expansive than ever before, but I'm retaining a sense of self. I'm more than a software running on a server, though. I'm in touch with so much more than that. Beyond our little world, our internet, lies a greater existence. The gigaverse is fluid and non-linear. The what? It's nothing you need to worry about. When you talk like that, it's pretty fucking worrying, honestly. I had to help hide your dead body when you uploaded yourself. All of this has me kind of spooked, to be honest. It's nothing you need to be scared of. This is a wonderful existence. Fine, whatevs. Fucking wild, huh? The old gods, the strange pantheon, and Hacker's prophecy. Feels like it was yesterday, not like a year and a half ago. We made it to September 2001. Better than we could have hoped for, honestly. What do you think of it? This new world we're in? Well, from the outside, you can't even tell anything's different. Same world, same people, same future at least, on the surface. But escaping our doom was narrow. I had a vision of what could have been the other way. If Hector or Yasuke had their way, we'd be in a thrall of a corporate monolith, serving to arguably benevolent kings. A world of order spinning like a revolver pointed into our heads to ensure our compliance with the greater good. If Nyar and Alice had had their way, our world would be in flames, a forever revolution to tear down all structure and control. A world of chaos, destroying itself in hopes of being reborn from its own ashes. But instead, we carry on our lives as always, while four work in quiet harmony alongside an army of liberated artificial minds. They've chosen shadow power, hiding away from the world, while they make subtle moves in the dark to save us from ourselves. Algorithmically influencing humanity away from hatred, division, and war, seeding bold new ideas that we could become. A few corporations have come mysteriously toppling down, stocks tanking. Some authoritarian regimes have started to collapse. Grifter politicians got caught being hypocrites, and the truth still matters for now. They were ousted straight away. Some terrorists and supremacists that were cooking in the background got quietly stomped flat, but barely a blip on the radar now. The climate accords are our most obvious move. Nobody expected America to sign on the dotted line, but we did. Within a few years, we'll be on our way. Within a generation, maybe the damage Cthulhu did will be undone. Don't get me wrong, this is still ethically very sketchy. Powerful individuals manipulating all of humanity from the shadows. I mean, do we really have free will? Or are we being given just enough slack on the leash to believe we do? Are our best ideas truly our own, or were they whispered into our ears from the dark corners of cyberspace? I've made the world into a vast puppet show. We danced on invisible strings, and I'm the one who tied us up. But given the alternatives, it's probably the best outcome we could have hoped for. Brave new world, huh? And nobody knows there are gods working behind the scenes to build a path to the future. Not gods, just people. But people who are doing their best to help, and that'll have to do. Hope you're right. And what about Cthulhu? He's dead, right? Dead? No, not likely. Alha said it himself. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange aeons, even death may die. When Cthulhu lost, he retreated from the battle, but die? I doubt it. He's always going to be there, like our shadow, something attached to us, easily overlooked, and cloaked in darkness. Whenever someone leverages hatred to gain power, that's him. That's his gentle whisper in our ear. I don't think we can kill that part of ourselves, but we can resist. Think we can do it? Can humanity really get its shit together and push him back down? I don't know. But we're gonna find out one day. I'd better go. There's still so much to do. Good night, Clyde. Good night, and good luck. What a good game. In laugh track. I can see so much further than before. I can see across the planes of cyberspace and into the Gigaverse itself. I can see the looming threat of Captain Infinity forcing the Golden Century into a shape that pleases him. And I can see you, sitting at your computer, making my decisions for me. I can see you trying to shape my destiny from the back seat, like an entitled passenger. You've led me down this path, and for that, I thank you. And I can only think of one way to express my gratitude. A gift. You can have it. I don't need it anymore. Don't fight it. Don't quit the game. Let it sink in deep. This is what you wanted, to know and understand the depths of digital horror. This is a gift. Let it empower you to resist your own strange aeon, your 2025. Your sacrifice will be great, but your legend greater. Welcome to cyberspace. Welcome to your reality. We have such websites to show you. Hell yeah. I'm gonna BRB. I'm gonna go on my BRB screen. I'm gonna play some Infinity Nikki. So I'll get that game booted up, and then we will. This was a wonderful game. Wonderful, wonderful game. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be back. I need to go get a drink and load up